our literature class. My name is Ms. Waldina Peña, and I'm going to talk today about the critical vocabulary of the unit and rhetorical devices. Today is May 19th, and let's begin. So on page 138, we're going to have four words that are basically the critical vocabulary of the unit. And I'm going to work with the first two words. I'm going to provide you the definition, the examples, and synonyms. With the other two, you're going to do the same, exactly the same, but in your notebook, okay? So, segregate means to separate or to set apart from others, okay? The hospital segregates patients who are contagious from the others. We live in a society that segregates based on religion. We're forced to segregate from our daily routine during this pandemic. Synonyms: isolate, quarantine, classify, discriminate, point of confinement. And it is a verb, as well as quarantine. So I can say I quarantine for 2 months. And that we add that D at the end of the word, which is in past. I quarantined for 2 months, which is basically a past action narrated there. Okay, irrelevant. His lectures often stray to interesting but irrelevant subjects. The complaints raised against the proposal were irrelevant, so we ignore them. Having this conversation is irrelevant to me. I'm still going to do it. So irrelevant is pointless, insignificant, inconsequential. So not consequences at all, not important, pointless. Okay? So on page 137, we're going to be talking about rhetorical devices, specifically rhetorical questions. So what is that? We have heard that in Spanish. Okay? So it's a question that is asked merely to affect without expecting any answer from the person who we're saying or we're speaking with. The answer may be obvious or immediately provided by the questioner. Okay? Remember, it might have an obvious answer, and sometimes we don't expect the other person to answer because we're just talking or making a point or making a pause to make the other think about it, something like that. So, what's the matter? What's the matter with kids today? I mean, I'm not expecting someone to sit with me and explain me every little detail. I'm just talking general because of something I just saw or something I just learned or any experience I have with kids today, okay? So the other, how much longer will this injustice continue? So again, we're talking about from the experience. Probably we just saw something that we call or we say that is injustice, and we just think out loud and say, how much longer will this continue? I mean, we're not expecting someone to calculate the time that this will continue. It is an obvious answer that probably it might continue longer. Okay? And the other, why me? Like, we're not expecting again someone to give us the details or why are you having this situation, okay, or your errors or your situations around this, okay? We're just again saying something out loud for the purpose of this is make the other person think about it or yourself. I mean, you're just making a pause to understand, okay? So, in the speak of Barack Obama, we have some uh, rhetorical questions that we can understand that he's not asking to anyone, he's just making people think about it, okay? Are we a nation that tolerates the hypocrisy of a system where workers who pick our fruits and make our beds never have a chance to get right with the law? Are we a nation that accepts the cruelty of raping children from their parents' arms? Or are we a nation that values family and works to keep them together? So, here in the speech, he's talking about immigration and the fact that no matter if the kid was born in the States, if they have to rip it out the family, they do it, and they have to separate and segregate the family, they do it. I mean, they take the parents to their country and they keep the kids in the States and they give it an adoption if it's possible. So he's talking about that if we are kind of cruel, if the nation is kind of cruel, separating parents from children, immigration specifically. Okay, so this is a kind of rhetorical question. He's not expecting anyone to answer that in detail. He's just asking this to make people think about it and analyze the situation and probably change their mind in their opinion in this case. So in the daily basis, we use a lot of rhetorical questions. So we say a child is asking for a very expensive toy in the store. So his parents said, "Do you think that money just grows on trees?" This is something typical the parent says to us, right? So this should make the child stop and think about how things are paid for. So this is not, we're not expecting the kid say no or yes. Okay, we're just trying to make them think that it's not that easy to get whatever he or she wants. Okay, the other two men are having a disagreement in a bar. One says, "Do you want me to punch you in the face?" The obvious answer to that is no. Okay, nobody will say, "Yes, I want you to punch me in the face." Okay, it just is a rhetorical question to make the other person to stop the annoyance and say, "Okay, we're gonna stop this disagreement because we're not gonna get it um, longer or further and have a fight, a physical fight." Okay. So this is all for today. Thank you very much. I hope you copy all this information in your notebook and do the other two words that I didn't complete on this video from the curricular vocabulary. Okay, you have to remember to do definition, three examples, and synonyms. Okay, two or three synonyms will be more than okay. And copy all the information from this video in your notebook. Thank you very much. Have a great day and God bless you all.